Don't let me down.
Well,
Sing it.
Fine.
You gotta sing it.
Oh
no. Don't let me down. It's only 4 words, dude. How'd you not know?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hustlin Horsepower YouTube channel, where the talkers talk and the doers do. I got to give a huge shout out to the guys over at Carolina Performance for opening up the dyno for me. I was hoping to make it down to Leakesville, Mississippi for a race this past weekend, but wasn't feeling that good. Well guys, I can't lie. I was a little bit nervous putting this car on the dyno. Guys, this is a home-built hot rod through and through. A motor that I have spec'd myself, built myself, a car that I've built myself, so on and so forth. And there's a lot on the line here. We race for a lot of money, and it costs a lot, and a lot of sacrifices go into being able to do this journey. But we're going to find out here shortly if all the homework has paid off and Straight Gangster can swing with some of these guys coming in 2024.
You officially have the record on this guy.
What's your guess?
Probably 17 something. I'd say 17, 50.
I'll say if it keeps on track, I say 18, 20.
Solid guess.
If it makes 1820 at 25 pounds, we're like, we still got some room to go. This is how you be YouTube superstars. Replay. Yeah. So I might jump on the scramble. Well, guys, it is the start of the journey down to Carolina Performance. It is, what is it, Wednesday afternoon here, and hopefully tomorrow morning we'll be down in North Carolina, making the trip solo. Just going to be a couple-day trip. There's a possibility I'll make it down to Leakesville. I'd like to make it down there, but I am starting this deal a day late. Wasn't feeling so good, so we'll see. The main priority is to get the car on the dyno, make sure there's no issues. So we're gonna start there. I went through, all the merchandise is packed up and everything like that. It's all sitting in the back seat here, and I gotta go drop that off, and then we gotta go toss the car in the trailer, and I gotta drive down to North Carolina sometime tonight. Already mapped out my fuel stop. I found a diesel for $3.43 a gallon. That's probably the cheapest I found. It kind of sucks because diesel's gone up a significant amount in the last month or so, and I'm definitely not looking forward to the diesel prices this summer. So with that being online, I did pick up a little runaround vehicle so that we can leave the toter and the trailer that definitely does, it drinks fuel. Hopefully we'll be meeting up with Gentry and Sons Trucking here before too long, and do a little bit of trading with that, and maybe get a different gear ratio in it to try to help out the fuel mileage, maybe another mile or 2 miles to the gallon out of the toter home. It has all the features that are needed to be in the thing basically all summer long, because look, coming up here in April, it looks like it's going to be, well, let's see here. Yeah, April, end of March, I guess you could say. April? What is it? Yeah, end of March, middle of March, will be, well, 9th and 10th, Gulfport, Mississippi is the plan. Possibly a week or two testing and stuff like that up in Tennessee area, and doing a deal with Gentry and Sons Trucking, like I said before. And then we're planning on heading over to Conquer the Concrete over in Oklahoma. That'll be a pretty cool deal. That's like the last week of March. Then April 13th is Small Tire Gangsters at Yellow Belly down in Texas. That's going to be a cool one. And then the week after that is Lake Cumberland, the place that had the Halloween Havoc last Halloween, I guess you could say, is they're having the, I forgot what they're calling it. But that's April 18th and 19th and 20th, something like that. And that is a frontside and a backside race at Lake Cumberland Dragway. So that's going to be a pretty cool deal there. I'm looking forward to that one too. They're putting $10,000 on top of Small Tire plus buy-ins. So that's going to be a pretty good payout. Yellow Belly is a bucket list item. Conquer the Concrete is going to do some good testing for the race at US 60 May 4th. So going out to Oklahoma, it'll be cool to get out there. We haven't been out there with the car ever, So, and we haven't been out into the Midwest since, I guess we made it out there with the Homegrown Hustler a couple times, but we really haven't been out to Oklahoma since the Dirty 30. So it's been several years since we've been out there. So we're looking forward to seeing all you guys in Oklahoma, Texas, Mississippi, then Kentucky and Tennessee, and yeah, we're looking forward to it, guys. So hope to see you soon. I'm gonna get back to driving here, drop off this merchandise, and we appreciate all of you that went to hustlinhorsepower.com, ordered up some pre-orders and stuff like that. We are stocked up with merchandise. So yeah, we appreciate you guys. Stop by the pits at any of the racetracks that we're at. We're gonna have plenty of hoodies and t-shirts and quite a bit of merchandise here to hopefully get us at least through like middle of the summer or something like that. So appreciate it, guys. We'll see you all soon. Well, guys, they say if it fits, it ships. Can barely fit that sucker in there. I think I'm gonna roll the car back a little bit, get the rear tires on the dovetail a little bit more, but it fits in there. Straight Gangster sitting out there ready to go on the dyno. Boom, boom. It is packed up in there, and yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. Well, guys, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning somewhere in West Virginia, probably close to the Virginia border. Not super sure, but I got the furnace blowing in my sleeping bag to preheat it. You see, when I'm here traveling by myself, I try to be as conservative as I can.
Proceed to the route.
I ain't driving. I got this sucker right here that I need to hook up, and that is a forced, it's just like a normal car heater. It's got the 2 coolant lines here, takes 5/8 lines, and I'm gonna put that sucker right on top of the furnace so that when we're driving down the road, I got coolant going through there, turn on the fan, and you don't have to use up propane. But when I'm traveling by myself, I can't justify heating up the whole toter home, so I just preheat my sleeping bag up a little bit. Guys, my windshield's a little marked dirty, and apparently I'm out of squirts, so it is what it is, but here we are. We're about an hour outside of Carolina Performance. I slept for a couple hours in the back. It's about, I don't know, 8:30 in the morning. I should be there right around 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish. So, everything's going so far. This truck runs good. It's a little bit low on boost, and I need to see if someone has a different gear set in this thing, because when I head out to Oklahoma or something like that for Conquer the Concrete or down to Texas, I gotta be able to cruise at faster than 60, 65 mile an hour in this thing. So guys, I got this nice little bottle of hand sanitizer that I'm gonna squirt in the intake. I'm just joking, it's filled with gasoline. So we're gonna toss a little bit of gasoline in the intake here through the boost reference line. And then if I get back over here, that sucker should roll it over for a couple seconds and light it right off. We did put the oil heater on it for a little while. I got to give a big thank you to the guys over at Carolina Performance for opening up a spot on the dyno. So we go and put the Straight Gangster on the rollers here, and before doing so, I did advance the cam a couple of degrees. Right now, I just don't have the finances for a shaft mount rocker system, so this is going to lower the RPM curve a little bit, but it should still make some pretty good power. Although I was able to preheat the oil in the motor, I wasn't able to preheat the transmission fluid. I just don't have that set up just yet. So we rolled it on the rollers for probably 5 minutes or so to get some heat in the transmission before he started laying into it.
Well, guys, it is so far so good here at Carolina Performance. I'm hoping the smile keeps it up because right there, we're about half the boost of what we will run this car at, and that was just over a little over 1,400 horsepower to the wheels. I haven't looked at the timing yet, but the last pull that we made previous to that, it showed that it could use probably about 2 degrees of timing, and 2 degrees of timing in a boosted application like this could be, you know, upwards to 50 to 7,500 horsepower or so per degree of timing. Fuel, the EGTs were cold. They're only 950 degrees right there. So it looks like we're putting a lot of fuel to it. I'm going to go look at the spark plugs and to verify that. And we're going to swap. I don't have 2 EGTs on my EGTs don't work. Number 4 and 8 don't work. The EGTs just don't work. So I'm going to swap number 2 into number 4 and number 6 into number 8 or whatever the hell they are. I'm going to swap the 2 that don't work on the even side to the ones that do work. I don't know. That's why I'm not a YouTube superstar. No, but we're going to get that going. So far, the EGTs are all reading within 50 degrees. 50 degrees is plenty for parity throughout a motor. Now, we do have the cam sync hooked up here, so I can do individual fuel and timing curves. We're not going to get after that on the dyno here today. We can start leaning that out or taking a little bit of timing out of a certain cylinder or something like that if the plug shows that when we start getting on a really good track. And the no prep stuff that we do, I just tripped the circuit breaker, I think. In the no prep stuff that we do, we're not necessarily looking for 100% parity between all the cylinders. Of course, ideally they would be, but there's enough discretion, generally speaking, in my tune-ups because I leave all my stuff fat and lazy until we're over 40 pounds boost, and then we'll start like getting after it, right? So as long as my meanest cylinder is still fat and lazy, we're in good shape. So as long as the EGTs are all looking good, they're just a reference number. But plugs and the timing strap and the CAD burn on it, I'm guessing we haven't gotten there yet because with how cold the EGTs were. Teaser. We're at 1,600 and we got over 20 pounds of boost left in it. Well, guys, right now we're about 1,600 horsepower and we got about 20 pounds of boost left in it. So we're going to slowly creep up on it. I'm going to pull a couple cylinders here, check the plugs on them, compare them to the EGTs of the EGTs that do work have new plugs in them, and we should be able to go turn this thing up and make another few hundred in the next horsepower, next pull here. I'll probably make somewhere, I don't know, with honest 25, 27 pounds of boost in it. We should be in like the 1,800 horsepower range to the wheels. Maybe a little bit more depending on what I play with timing and stuff like that here. We're at 20 pounds of boost is where I start pulling timing. That's the way I tune a no prep car. Is I run the timing pretty much the same from trans brake release to about 20 pounds of boost. That is for my personal preference on how I tune a no prep car doing this stuff. So it has that amount of timing in it from point A to point B, but that's what my timing map is. My timing map isn't a nice smooth slope like a lot of people's. I do what works best for me. I want to know when I have 5 minutes in between rounds to do my deal, I want to know, hey, I was pulling 5 degrees at the hit. This is how much timing that's supposed to have in it. This is how much timing it should have in it. If it touched a safety in there and I look at the thing and it says, hey, it's only got 18 degrees of timing in it, I'm like, hey, that thing's supposed to have 23 in it. What is pulling that extra 5 degrees of timing? So that's things that I got to look out for when I'm going through and running this operation essentially by myself, right? Tuner, driver. I'm not crew chief, depending if Maddie's there or not. But yeah, Miley's gonna be filling the role here soon. She's only 14 months old now, but she'll be tuning the car before too long, or she'll be driving it in another 14, 15 years. But guys, we're on our way to be making some pretty good power here. So this is a motor that I did throw together in the build series. This is 100% nickel here. So so far so good. It is not my fastest motor I've thrown together. I did throw a motor together one time. I don't want to say completely together, but I threw a lot of pieces together and we went 380s with it. So I'm not at that caliber yet with my own personal stuff. The budget on this stuff is a whole lot smaller than that budget. But yeah, we're on our way to be able to make a little over 2,000 here. So the dyno's not going to hold that, but that's going to be held for the track. If we could go make 1,850, 1,900 here, at, you know, that 25, 27 pound range and still have about 15 pounds boost left in it, that'll be pretty good to head to the track with. So guys, I'm trying for you. Let's see if we can zoom in here. You could see that that plug is still completely shiny there. That means none of the cadmium is burnt off. When we start, if these turbos were maxed out at the 22 pounds that we just made there, we'd be going through here and we'd be aiming for some cadmium burnt off here. Not on a dyno. I repeat, not on a dyno. That's what you do at a track when there's the other factors come into play. But you'd be looking for half to 3/4 to, you know, maybe down to the first thread or so of cadmium pull. Here on the spark plug, you can see the timing mark pretty definitively there. We could probably sneak another little bit in it, probably another degree or so here. But like I said, I'm gonna keep this thing fat and happy. We could probably trim a fair amount of fuel out of this sucker. I'm like, with no cadmium burn on there, I'm guessing we could pull upwards to 10% of fuel out of this thing and it'd still be perfectly fine. But that's not what we're looking for here. We're just looking to make sure this thing is fat and happy. Like, I don't know. What would you consider fat and happy? Like Robbie Dollar eating some cake earlier today. All right, guys, that last plug that I showed you was number 1. Number 7 and 8 on this motor are running a little bit, I guess you could say a little bit colder. I don't know if it's because the way I built the intake on this deal or what, but you could see the timing mark on this is quite a bit farther forward than the other number 1 cylinder. So I could probably give this thing I could probably offset this timing a solid 1/2 degree to 1 degree more than number 1 cylinder. But like I said, fat and happy, we'll tune it off of the worst cylinder and we'll leave it there until it comes time where we really have to start leaning on this sucker. These notes right here, I'll start writing these notes down now that we're starting to make a little bit of power with this thing. I'll start writing notes down that says these are things to look for. So back cylinders could probably use about a 1/2 degree more timing than the front ones.
Action.
So guys, in the video it's a little unclear. So Smiley's over here playing. It's about to rain soon, but as I'm editing this video, I want to go over here and talk about this just slightly. When setting the timing, not necessarily on a dyno or on a track or something like that, when you have retards per let's say pound of boost or something like that, it is very hard to make your timing 100% accurate. I like blocking it in sections so I know, especially when you're like really trying to finite the tuning in the car. But long story short, this is your electrode. This is the ground strap here, okay? When you have cadmium burn, see how this plug is shiny right now? Like it's got that nice like hue to it. When the fuel is right, this will be about 1/2 to 3/4 or maybe down to like the first thread where it changes color and burns the cadmium off. That's when you know your fuel is really right. You do that at the end of the pass when you don't have timing retards coming on, you don't have different modifiers active. That has to be the actual fuel on it with the tire hooked up with full load on the motor. Now if you have a very loose converter or something like that, that's gonna be different. So you could hear the motor coming up in this deal, and I got the tightest state that I have in the car right now for the dyno to give me some pretty accurate readings on here. But the timing mark here, halfway between the strap, is about ideal. So if you went like this strap right here, halfway through the apex right there would be about ideal. When you get down towards the threads, that's too much timing. You're going to burn it up, and you'll burn the strap off. If you're up towards the tip here, your color line changes at the tip here. That means it could take some more timing. So if the color changes towards the tip, you can start adding a 1/2 degree or a degree to get to this apex of the bend here. But if you're if you're at the apex or past the apex, you need to take a little timing out of it. And by having the cam sync in the car, if you have the cam sync in the car, or you're able to control fuel and timing individually, you can really dial that in. But there's other things that affect just the timing mark on the car. If you have a lot of extra fuel in that cylinder or not enough fuel in that cylinder, the temperature reading on the plug is going to be off a little bit. So you got to make sure your fuel consumption is pretty accurate on that cylinder before you really try to finite tuning it as well, because they do
they do play off one another. But this isn't a video about all that stuff. That's just a quick rundown for you guys. I'll add that in the video, so when you're playing with your stuff, or if your turbos are making heat and you're making more boost than you ever have and the car's not going any faster, you're gonna have to start sneaking timing into it, or start sneaking some fuel out of it, because you're just creating heat, and your turbos are out of efficiency if you're at that point. So appreciate it, guys. Let's get back to this thing and see if we can make 2,000 horsepower with this little hot rod. Well, guys, here we are. This guy over here said put 25 pounds of boost to it, so we're gonna put 25 pounds of boost to it. We made, what did we make last time? 1570. So we just shy of 1600 at 22-ish pounds, but the wastegates did open pretty early on that one, around 6,700, 7,100, something like that. I don't know. We're gonna lose some track here, but when the wastegates open up early, you lose the back pressure and stuff like that. So when it comes up into RPM range, in that 75 to 7,800 RPM range, where it should really be making some steam, and the wastegates open up prematurely to that, since our boost curve is just kind of like flatlining there, because we don't have any type of boost curve. I'm just doing it. Robbie sometimes goes boost by speed type deal on the dyno, or by RPM on the dyno. I'm just doing a straight flat line of X amount of boost on the deal. So the wastegates are opening up a little bit prematurely, but we bumped it up. We had 18 pounds on the dome last time, 20 pounds on whatever. I put it up at 25 pounds this time, so we should be up in the 24, 25 pounds. What's your guess?
Probably 17 something. I'd say 17, 50.
I'll say if it keeps on track, I say 18, 20.
Solid guess.
If it makes 1820 at 25 pounds, we're like, we still got some room to go. What's your guess? What's your guess at 25 pounds? Well, 25 pounds of dome pressure.
What did we make last?
Just shy of 1,600.
How much was it boost last time?
It was 22.
22.
But we're still picking up like over 100 horses, like about 100 horses per pound of boost.
So you're going from 22 to 25.
We're still picking up like 75 to 100 horses per pound of boost.
1,600.
Yeah.
What did I say, 1830 or something like that?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. 1830, 1850.
Well, we'll see. We're gonna aim for somewhere in the 1800 horsepower range.
I always go low.
Say 1800 then.
Low for everything.
He says 18. No, he's
17 something.
he says we're gonna lose power. We're gonna be back at 1500 like we were at 5 pounds of boost. No, we're gonna see how this goes, guys. We're gonna jump in it.
Yeah, we're going to
And
spray them too.
we're gonna spray it a little bit. So run through it. Oil temps up, water temps down. We're in good shape. Guys, this one's probably gonna be the last pull right now. We're right around the 1800 horsepower range at 26 pounds of boost. That right there is that's pretty good to run. You know, that will run pretty dang good. We can run this car up to the 40, 42 pound of boost range. There is still no color on the plugs as far as like the cadmium burn. That's how you tell your fuel readings in the car. And then the spark plug, we could still probably give it 1 to 2 degrees, probably 2 degrees of timing on all the cylinders. I did do a little bit of offsets in a couple of the cylinders just to even up the EGTs / even up. Actuality is evening up the timing mark on all the plugs. So timing mark can be affected by fuel to a certain point, but we believe everything's pretty dang close there. So yeah, I think we're gonna go here. We're trying to make 28, 30 pounds of boost, and if it does that, it should make somewhere in the a little over 1900 is I would be expecting. But we'll see what happens here, and time will tell. Gotta give a good, huge thank you to these guys. You need to move that sign like.
I know.
Yeah. Well, we need to move some stuff around, obviously.
It's all good.
Don't forget that coyote guy over there.
Yeah, the coyote guy over here. He's trying to hook up some nitrous so he can make some power. So we're gonna go put this sucker. Make one more pull. We've had the fans on it for a minute now, so it should be cooled down enough. Oil temp is still up. Water temp is down. That's normally how we try to run this car when we're trying to make some power with it. So as long as the oil temp's there, water temp can be fairly low. So
Bearing clearances are good. Hopefully, as long as I did my job. And we'll see what happens here. This is how you be YouTube superstars. Replay. Yeah. So I might jump on the scramble. No, I might just give it a couple extra pounds when it gets up that 7,000 pound range, just to keep the gates closed.
Okay.
So if it does that, if we can keep those gates closed up to 7,500 or so, it should make some pretty good power and give us a really good reading, so I can fully plug it up and stuff like that. I think it's recording. That's why I did that repeat.
Oh yeah, I thought you stopped it actually.
No, we're good. We're 33 seconds in.
Maybe I can't find it.
Oh, don't let me down.
Well,
Sing
it.
it.
Be fine.
You gotta sing it.
Oh no.
Don't let me down. It's only 4 words, dude. How'd you not know?
It's fine.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Wow. Nick, you officially have the record on this dyno.
Really?
Oh, we had that last class. The last two classes.
Hey, I can get it right.
What the hell?
Here's what I'm talking about.
Well, guys, that was just under 2,000 horsepower right there. And as you can see, the plug is still perfectly clean. The timing pointer is right at the tip, so it's still a couple degrees shy on timing. So I think we're in pretty good shape to go find a racetrack before too long. After making just under 2,000 horsepower over at Carolina Performance, it would have been well over that if we could have ran it up another couple hundred RPM before the wastegates opened up. But it shows pretty good promise. Guys, we went over to Farmington Dragway for Saturday and Sunday test and tune. Unfortunately, I missed Leakesville, Mississippi to go support the inverse race, but hey, it is what it is. We had to get the car on the dyno and make sure it was all healthy. But a 5.0 lifting at 3.6 into the run shows some pretty good promise going into 2024. HustlinHorsepower.com for merchandise. We appreciate all you guys that support this journey. Georgia, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Texas, Kentucky are all happening in the next month and a half. We hope to see you soon.